Okay, now it's live.
Now it's live?
Now it's
There we are. Wonders of technology. So as we've been spending our time talking about techniques for change, what I wanted to share here was a demo that honestly, you will never do a demo like this with your client. Why? Because I'm going to have no idea what you're going to work on.
Okay.
Yeah. Does this hurt? No. No, it's a demo of something that really, from our educational standpoint, is going to give you some insights to how we can approach hypnosis in such a way that all we need is that little bit of content of what we're actually addressing, and now we can better help our client. So it's how yesterday with the intake interview process, chunking down, getting the specifics of, well, this is what you want to change, what's an example of that, when would you be doing that, and so forth. So really at this point, Rod, I want you to think about something in your life that you want to change. Something you want to improve upon, perhaps, and I don't want to know what it is.
Okay.
Do you have something in mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm only going to ask you one filter, and it's going to be in this one or that one, or it might be both.
Okay.
Does this involve, let's call it habits and strategies, or would it involve, let's say, emotional triggers, or is it kind of both?
No, habits and strategies.
Habits and strategies. So at least I've got a category, but still, I don't know what those habits and strategies are. Though, take note, as I go through this demonstration, I'm going to be using very artfully vague terms to go in and address that specific habit and strategy, and still I won't know what it is.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yet, it's from your student perspective, you're going to hear it all rather non-specific, yet without trying to lead, though I am now because I'm saying it out loud, you're going to hear everything very specific to what you'd like to do.
Okay.
Make sense? Yeah. Do me a favor, could you scoot the chair back maybe 2 inches? There you are. Great. So the way you're sitting right now, we will assume pre-talk has already been done.
Yep.
Cool. Take a look here at my hand, please, and just take a nice deep breath in. As you could follow my hand on up and hold that breath for a moment. And as you exhale, just let those eyelids close. Just let them relax on down, because this is that time for you. It's that time for you to relax and to let go. It's that time for you to take control of your own actions, your own behaviors, your own feelings. And I could tell you to go ahead and relax your entire body, but that's not necessary. For right now, just relax your eyelids. And just relax them all the way down to that place where you can make them so relaxed, it's as if they just don't want to work. And go ahead, test them and satisfy yourself. You can do that. Good. Quit testing. Send that comfort down throughout your body, just like a nice wave of comfort, noticing again that every natural breath follows the one before. You never have to remind yourself to breathe. Your body already knows exactly what it needs. In fact, today is just a process of following some easy instructions. Your mind and body already know what to do. So in a moment, I'll ask you to let the eyelids open and close back down. When we do that this first time, notice you can relax perhaps as much as 10 times deeper, whatever that means to you. Just let the eyelids open. Just let them close and just now relax as much as 10 times deeper. Every breath you exhale, every word I say, helping to guide you deeper down. We'll do that a few more times. On the next one, notice you can double the awareness of that chair supporting your body. Let the eyelids open. Let them close and just double that relaxation. Twice as comfortable, twice as confident in your abilities from this point forward. And we'll do that one last time on this last one. Notice you can just let go of whatever's been holding you back up until this moment. Let those eyes open. Let them close and just go much, much deeper down. Of course, today, it's your heightened sense of awareness. You may at times be aware of sounds outside, movement in this room. All those sounds begin to matter less and less. Today, it's the sound of my voice and the feeling of every breath you exhale. That's what helps to guide you deeper down. As you can send your thoughts over here to this arm, I'm going to reach over. I'm going to pick up that arm by the wrist. Today, let me do all the work. When I pick up that thing, let it dangle there like a soaking wet dish rag. When I let it fall, let it just plop right back down on your leg. And whenever we do that, notice it helps to take you much deeper relaxed. Just let that arm be heavy. That is perfect. As it falls, just plop deeper, relaxed. In fact, today, anytime I pick up that hand and drop it, notice it just helps to guide you deeper, deeper down. And just like that, we've got all the physical relaxation we're going to need for now. So now you can begin to help yourself to relax mentally. I mean, consider that this thing you'd like to change is perhaps something you've been working on in some way for quite some time. Maybe it's something you've been thinking about, struggling to get started, perhaps. And the goal of today is very different than that. Today is all about helping you to relax away whatever's been holding you back, to allow you to step into these actions even better. If you'd like that, just nod your head. That's right. And I'll show you how easy it is to relax your mind in that way. In a moment, we'll have you begin to count slowly, backwards, out loud from 100. With every number you say, you can just double that mental relaxation. And somewhere around 98 or maybe sooner, as they're gone, just notice how good you can feel. As you can begin slowly, backwards, out loud, from 100 now.
100.
Good, now double that mental relaxation. That's right. And as they're gone, just nod your head. Good, and just continue to relax and go deeper. In fact, as simple as I can count from 3 to 1, allow these thoughts, these suggestions, these experiences just to help to guide you even deeper down as 3. Sending a nice comfortable wave of awareness throughout your entire body. The interesting phrase, just to become aware of your body occupying space. Bringing your mind to this moment right now, this experience right now. Becoming aware of those things you'll do today, those things you'll do tomorrow, to firmly plant one foot in front of the other on this path of success that you can invigorate for yourself from this day forward to even deeper down. Sounds around you mattering less and less, as now it becomes your choice what's important. Now it becomes your choice what actions you take. And all the way down, as I pick up that hand and drop it, just releasing, relaxing, just letting go. That's right, good. Because in the state of hypnotic focus and relaxation, we're talking to that very special part of your mind that we call the unconscious mind. Inside of the unconscious mind is a record of all of your experiences, all your feelings, all your memories, all your experiences. And today we can take an interesting approach to address this thing that you are ready to change. That so often the change process would be one of trying to figure out what's wrong and how do we fix it. Although in this moment now, it could become a process of what's great about you and how do we harness that. So what's interesting is that now in this process, in a moment, I'm going to count from the number 1 to 3. And at the count of 3, discover this. You can allow your mind to reconnect with an experience that even you didn't know you'd be thinking of today. To connect with a moment of success. Now, before we go further, there's a rather interesting experience I want you to discover. Right now, with either your left hand or your right hand, take a finger and thumb and squeeze them together now. Perfect. You did that exactly right. Though take note, I did not say your left thumb and index finger. All I said was take a finger and thumb of either hand and squeeze them together now. And in that moment, your mind heard that suggestion, that piece of instruction, to mean that left hand with the left thumb and finger. You did that exactly right. It's the mind's ability to express, that's what's going to work best for me. You can relax that hand if you have not done so yet already, because in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and notice this. As simple as I suggested, as simple as it becomes, because at the count of 3, you can connect to a moment of success. A moment that perhaps even you didn't know you'd be thinking of today, though specifically, a moment of success involving learning. Which, take note, that could mean all sorts of different things. It may have been a moment of passing a test, a quiz, or a graduation. It could be a moment where you learned how to do something so well you could teach it to somebody else. There's no right, there's no wrong. As I count from 1 to 3, notice how you can reconnect with a moment of success involving the ability to learn as 1, as if shifting through time. 2, as if going inside of that experience now, whatever first pops into the mind, perfectly appropriate. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you in your own ears. And the number 3, simply be there now. Be there inside of that experience and allow some of those feelings of success involving that ability to learn to spread throughout you now. In fact, in this process, you can speak clearly. Be there in that moment. You can respond out loud easily in that moment now. Is it daytime or is it nighttime? That's right. Is it inside or is it outside?
Inside.
Alone or with someone?
With someone.
And just simply go inside of that experience once again. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you in your own ears. And allow that feeling of success just to begin to rise throughout you. With every breath you take in, with every breath you let go of, feel that positive momentum rising throughout you. In fact, check this out. Take that same finger and thumb now, squeeze them together. And as if like connecting an electrical circuit, feel that energy rising inside. This is nothing new. This is who you are. As you harness that feeling of success involving that ability to learn, let it spread throughout you. Let it build up even stronger. Let it build even greater. And relax that hand. Relax those fingers, letting every natural breath help to guide you deeper and deeper down. Because as I lift up this hand and drop it now, we can set that off to the side for a few moments. We'll come back to it later. Because just as easily as you found you can do that, you can connect with another moment, another experience, another moment of success, this time involving your ability to physically do something. Now take note just how wonderfully wide open of a suggestion that is. It might be a time where you completed some sort of task. It might be some sort of physical or even athletic goal. As you allow yourself to reconnect with a moment of success involving physical activity, there's no right, there's no wrong. Whatever first pops into your mind is perfectly appropriate. Though again, notice as I count from 1 to 3, you can reconnect and you can relive a moment of success involving your own physical ability as 1, shifting through time, maybe younger, maybe smaller. 2, go inside of that experience now. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you in your own ears. And the number 1, simply be there in that experience now. First impression, you got it. Is it daytime or is it nighttime?
Night.
Inside or outside?
Inside.
Alone or with someone?
With someone.
And just simply go inside of that experience again. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you. That's right. As you go inside of that experience now, allow those feelings of success to begin to rise throughout you. Allow your mind, your body to begin to remember these sensations. This is nothing new. This is who you are. Just simply because you decide, kick them up even stronger. Turn them up even greater. In fact, now, take that finger and thumb, squeeze them. As you do that, connecting that circuit, building that sensation up even stronger. As if like a pump, try this out. Begin to rhythmically squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And as you do so, building up that sensation even greater, even stronger. Kick it up even higher and relax that hand. Release those fingers. Every natural breath guiding you deeper down. Though to play a game, if we were to stop right here. If we were to stop right here, here we are today, addressing a goal, something you want to create, something you want to change, a habit, a behavior. And with all the things in our lives that we could possibly do, we always need that ability to learn. We also need that ability to do. And having already harnessed these 2 organic resources inside of yourself, simply now as you walk out that door, you begin to find yourself feeling stronger, more focused. Using your own organic abilities to call on these sensations anytime, anywhere, without anyone knowing you're doing something. Well, let's go a little bit further, though. Because again, in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and this time, connect with a moment of success involving your own creativity. Now, for all sorts of people, that would mean all sorts of things. For a creative moment, for some people, it's blank canvas and paint becoming a masterpiece. It could be, it doesn't have to be. It could be a time where you creatively solved an issue, a time in which somehow you thought outside of the box. There's no right, there's no wrong. A moment of success involving your own creativity. As I count from 1 to 3, allow yourself to reconnect with such a moment from your own experiences now as 1, perhaps becoming younger, smaller, an earlier experience. 2, going inside of it now as if you could see it through your own eyes, feel it in your own body, hear the sounds around you in your own ears. The number 3, that's right. You got it. Be there now, inside or outside?
Inside.
Alone or with someone?
With someone.
Daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Be there in that experience and just allow that creative feeling to rise throughout you. Let it begin to build and cultivate. With every breath you take in, with every breath you let go of, feel that sensation of success rising throughout you now. That's right. In fact, you know what to do. Take that finger and thumb, squeeze it, pump it, pulsate. As you do that, build up that sensation even greater. Build up that sensation even stronger. This is nothing new. This is who you are. And relax that hand. Release those fingers. Enjoy a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Let those lungs fill. As you exhale, just relax. Though as simple as I suggested is as simple as this becomes. Because in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. At the count of 3, 2 things can happen at the same time. First of all, at the count of 3, we're going to have you squeeze that finger and thumb together. And at the count of 3, notice this. You can blend and merge these 3 sensations together as one. Letting these 3 feelings of success with your abilities to learn, to do, to create, blend and merge together into that in the zone, peak performance state of mind, harnessing your own best abilities as one, expectations rising, energy increasing. The number 2, perhaps already feeling some of those sensations beginning to build and bubble on up. And 3, take that finger and thumb. As you connect them now, blend and merge these feelings together as one. Feel that sense of ability and success and focus rising throughout you. Harness that. Feel that like a sense of energy spreading far beyond the physical confines of your body, motivating you, activating you. Feel what that's like. This ability, we have those days where by accident we feel good. To have this ability now to turn that on the moment that you choose. Squeeze those fingers, build it up even greater, even stronger, and relax that hand. Release those fingers. Because we'll do that again, and this time let's take it one step further. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. At the count of 3, we'll have you squeeze the thumb and finger together. At the count of 3, we'll have you blend and merge these feelings together as one. And this time, at the count of 3, project yourself into that reality that you are ready to create. Ride the wave of this positive sensation you are harnessing into that moment where there you are, making these changes you are so ready to create. As one, expectations rising, energy increasing. The number 2, perhaps already feeling some of these sensations rising throughout you now. 3, squeeze that thumb and finger together. Build up these sensations and project yourself. Be there in this future event. There you are, perhaps even dissolving away the novelty that things are different now. This is nothing new. This is who you are. Be there in that change that you are so ready to create. Second nature, unconscious competence, just something that you do. And spend some time inside of that place now. As you look to that place in your future, you can remember those things you will have done to get there. Allowing that confidence to rise, holding on to that feeling of strength, ability. Realize just how simple you let this become. Relax that hand, release those fingers. Enjoy a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just relax. At this point, I can begin to pull away some of the process here, though. For lack of a better term, it's a funny word to use, but perhaps you've noticed there's some theatrics in this experience together. I have to bring more energy to my voice, otherwise it's not as easy to bring you along for the process. I mean, briefly imagine the opposite. If I just stood here and went, think of a time you felt confident. Yeah, right. So by bringing some of my own energy into the process, it's even easier to get you to go to those places as well. However, realize everything we've done so far has been a result of your own experiences. We're borrowing from you. We're copying and pasting from your own experiences. So with that in mind now, I'm just going to talk to you from this point forward. No dynamic voice, no fun intention and tonality. And notice how without any of my energy, you can do this even better for yourself as one already, letting those feelings begin to rise within you. 2, the mind already creating that perfect outcome to associate into. 3, take that finger and thumb, squeeze them together, build up that empowered emotional state and step inside of your own future. Be there. on your own, bringing up these sensations even stronger, even greater. Allowing yourself to mentally rehearse this outstanding change you are so ready to step into. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you in your own ears. This is nothing new. This is who you are. And notice how on your own, without my energetic assistance, it works even better. Because now you're doing it for yourself. Perhaps a little thought flowing through the back of your mind, hey, this is easy, I can do this. Or even better, hey, this is going to be fun as you relax that hand, relax even deeper. But let's take away even more layers. Because that little gesture with the hand, it's like what they'd call on a computer the clipboard, a place where you would temporarily post information. Though the truth is, again, everything we have built so far has come from you. It's come from your own experiences, your own resourceful states of mind. So that little gesture, I mean, you can use it in the future if you want, but it's really not necessary. So in this next experience, keep that hand perfectly still as one, letting that feeling already begin to rise throughout you. 2, letting these feelings of success blend and merge together as one, keeping the hand perfectly still. Don't even bother with the hand. 3, on your own, simply by choice, step into that more empowered perspective. Step into that more empowered point of view. Bring up that peak performance in the zone, state of mind and body throughout you. And just simply by choice, this ability now to turn that feeling on. And step inside of that future experience. There you are, already living out these things you are so ready to change. Already living out these realities. And it's up to you. You can hold on to that sensation now or let it come and go as you choose. Though it's as if learning a new word, a new piece of vocabulary, this is now a part of you. No one, no thing can take this away. In fact, as simple as I suggested, is as simple as it becomes. Kick up that feeling even greater. Like your hand on a dimmer switch, turn it up even greater, even stronger. That's right. This ability now to step into your own ideal state of mind. This is nothing new. This is who you are. And just simply take a nice deep breath in. Just let those lungs fill. As you exhale, just relax and go even deeper. And even though what's interesting is even though I don't necessarily know exactly what the habit or behavior it is you'd like to change, you do. And the truth is, like so many things in life, there are all sorts of strategies, all sorts of options, all sorts of different paths to get to the same destination. If we really got down to it, there perhaps would be hundreds of different ways, thousands of different ways you could go about achieving this one single goal. If that's true, simply nod your head. Yeah, all sorts of options, all sorts of strategies. So let's simplify it. In a moment, I'm going to pick up this hand and drop it. And in this moment now, allow all levels of your mind to work together and become aware of just 3 simple things, 3 simple strategies, 3 simple behaviors, basically 3 things you would like to find yourself doing differently in the weeks ahead. That as you find yourself engaging in these 3 activities, it's going to give you that instant gratification that, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is in motion. They don't have to be the absolute best 3, indeed, whatever the first 3 that are appropriate that pop into your mind. Take this bit of silence to yourself and allow all levels of your mind to work together and generate 3 new alternative behaviors that as you fold them into place, it'll satisfy this goal that you're here to achieve. And as you have 3 in mind, take your time. As you have 3 in mind, just nod your head. Good. And the fun part is, I don't even have to know what they are. Hey, if you like to think of it like a birthday wish, when you keep it to yourself, that's when it becomes real. Though for the sake of our process here today, we can just label them as numbers 1, 2, and 3. Whatever order, they don't have to be ranked. Just allow yourself to identify these 3 strategies as numbers 1, 2, and 3. As you've done that, nod your head. Good. So here's where it gets interesting. Some people would tell you that it takes 30 days to install a new behavior. I tell you, those people might not be using the right methods. Because today, in this process, you could rapidly begin to condition these new outcomes, these new behaviors for yourself. As I pick up this hand and drop it, simply imagine one of those situations in the past where this thing that you're addressing would have been an issue before. Imagine, picture, bring yourself back to a previous experience where this thing was clearly becoming something you want to address. And as if perhaps, like the movie director, like the stage director, you could yell cut, you can call a hold on that scene, and you could rewind it and now plug in that first of new behaviors. Relive that experience now with that first of new strategies. And observe that scene playing out now just as naturally, just as normally, just as easily as you choose, as there you are, as if business as usual, that the difference is now that first of new behaviors is perfectly in place. Spend some time observing that. See it, observe it, watch it. And allow yourself now to follow these simple instructions. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, step inside of it now. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you in your own ears. Try it on. Notice how well it fits. Like a piece of clothing that's been designed especially for you. Like an experience that's designed exactly just for you. Step inside of this future event now. And allow yourself to relive that just as naturally, just as normally, just as easily, as if this is how you've always done it. Try it on. Notice how well it fits. And as you've done that, and as you are satisfied, simply nod your head. Good. And from this point forward, every day in every way, you find it even easier now to discover just how easy, just how comfortable, just how natural it is to live out this path. Though as I lift up this hand and drop it, become aware of another moment, another situation where it would have been the same old story. Though, of course, today you get to change that story. Go into that moment that may have been an issue before, may have been one of the markers why you want to address this thing, whatever it is, and pause it, rewind it, plug in that second of new behaviors. And for the first pass, just simply observe it. Watch yourself in that moment, living out that experience differently than it was before. Plugging in that second of new outcomes, that second of new behaviors, just as naturally, just as normally, just as easily as you deserve and desire. Natural, easy, comfortable, familiar, and now enjoy that deep breath in. And as you exhale, step inside of it. See it through your own eyes. Feel it in your own body. Hear the sounds around you. Mentally rehearse your own success. Allow yourself to step into this reality now. This is nothing new. This is who you are. Condition that. That's right. And as you've done that, and you are satisfied, simply nod your head. Good. That's right. And again, from this point forward, every day and every way, you find it even easier now to choose that path. But one more time, as I pick up the hand and drop it, be there, and again, some experience that you are ready to change. Rewind it, plug in that third of strategies, observe it, now step inside of it. Notice how rapidly you can condition new behaviors. Notice now how easily you can fold in new strategies, almost as if that's just how it's always been. Take your time. Live through this experience playing out the way that you want it to be now. And as you've done that and as you're satisfied, nod your head. Good. And again, from this point forward, every day and every way you find it even easier now to choose that path. Though there's one aspect of personal change we need to address here. An aspect of personal change that, if left unaddressed, could often be why some people may stall out, may not find the results they want. Because in every aspect of life, we often are looking for that little dose of instant gratification, that little bit of feedback that right away I can do this. So of these three behaviors, if there's one that's appropriate to find yourself engaging in as early as today, nod your head. Good. And as simple as I suggested is as simple as it comes. As I pick up that hand and drop it, go to that experience as if there you are, as early as today. Look to that brief place in your future and look to that place now and remember just how well you will be doing. Getting that instant gratification as early as today. I've got this. This is going to be easy. Give yourself that instant feedback. I've got this. I can do this. And as you've done that, nod your head. Good. And just enjoy this brief bit of silence. Just let every breath you exhale help to guide you deeper down. Allowing the mind to integrate all these experiences, all these future realities within your own thoughts. As you can follow some simple instructions, take this left hand, squeeze it into a fist, please. You see, we're working with that ability of choice, that muscle in the mind, that the stronger it becomes, the stronger you become. We can play with that for a moment. Keep that hand squeezing down. We're going to pick up that arm together, let the arm extend out in front of you so that even as I let go, it can just kind of hang out in position right about there. So as I count forward with the number 1, begin to notice, begin to imagine, begin to allow that arm just to grow stronger and stronger. As if that thing is growing stiff and rigid like a steel bar, so that that shoulder, that joint locking in place, the arm getting stronger. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. 2, the elbow as well, straightening, stiffening, as if it's being pulled comfortably across this room. 3, the wrist as well, becoming so strong that even if I press down, it just kind of springs right back into position. 4, you're already doing it. The hand's already squeezing tightly down, sending that energy all the way up that arm. Is 5, that entire thing becomes so strong, so stiff and rigid, that the more you try to bend it, the stronger it gets. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Give it a try. It gets even stronger. Try to bend that thing. It gets even stronger. And I tap it on the back of the hand. Notice it can comfortably relax back down. Now, just easily on down, as you can begin to appreciate the simplicity. Because the part of your mind that can wrap itself around an idea such as that is the same part of your mind that now can wrap itself around these realities you create for yourself. To picture, imagine, think of yourself there you are, as early as today, living out this new outcome, living out this new ability. This is nothing new, something comfortable, natural, normal, dissolving away the novelty that things are different, business as usual, as if this is how it's always gone. Though before we go further, this is rather interesting. I'm just going to lightly graze the back of your left hand with my fingertip. And as I do that, imagine instead of my fingertip that this is a piece of ice. And just as I lightly graze, you could begin to allow kind of maybe a cold or maybe a cool, or even perhaps just kind of a numbing or tingling feeling to establish in the back of that hand. A familiar sensation, like putting your hand into a cooler filled with cold icy drinks, the hand becoming cool and numb. Or maybe just laying on your arm in a funny position and it begins to feel all tingly. Whether it's a temperature change, whether it's a tingling or a numbness, whatever kind of shift in sensation you notice, as that feeling is there in the back of that left hand, let that finger raise. Good, relax that down and go much deeper. Here's where it gets interesting. Because as I let go, feel that sensation now work its way up throughout your left arm. Feel it as it migrates comfortably up your left arm into your left shoulder. And feel it now migrate across your body to your right shoulder over there. And whatever the temperature of that thing is, give it the dynamics of a snowball. As it travels, let it gather size and shape and momentum. As you send that down your right arm over there, letting that feeling grow more noticeable and even stronger as it moves, as it migrates. As you send that feeling to your right hand over there, let it establish over there stronger than it was over here. And as you've done that, again, let that finger raise. Good, relax and go deeper. As this is now a skill that you have, send the feeling back up along the same path, up your right arm. More efficiently this time, up to your right shoulder, across your body to your left shoulder over there. Down your arm, back over here where it started. And as that feeling is back over here in the left hand, stronger than it's been so far, again, let that finger raise. Good, relax and go deeper. Hey, why not? Just for fun, you can do this. Send it all the way down to your left big toe. You can do that. As you've done that again, let that finger raise. Good. Let it hang out down there for a little while because perhaps I should explain why we're doing this. A couple of reasons. First of all, in terms of hypnotic abilities, what are we doing right now? On a practical side, we're creating a feeling that is not really there and responding to it as if it is. To use fancy language, that's a positive hallucination. And that is one of the deepest levels of hypnotic ability we can create and still have you be responsive to my voice. So on one side of things, seriously, you can congratulate yourself on your skill, your ability to create and enjoy profound states of hypnosis. However, there's a more practical reason why we do this. That same experience is the same as any emotion you'd experience. Because consider this. As perhaps you become aware of whatever feeling, whatever idea, whatever thought was there before that was holding you back from creating this outcome. Whatever that thing was, whatever, we'll just refer to it as the issue, whatever the issue was that was holding you back until this moment, whatever that feeling associated with it is, there are two statements we can make about that feeling. The first is it's absolutely real. Whatever that feeling was that was holding you back from creating this outcome, you absolutely felt that way. If I ever tried to stand here and placate and say, oh no, you didn't feel that way, I would be doing you a disservice. I would be lying to you. You absolutely felt that way. Whatever that feeling was that was holding you back was absolutely real. However, we can never call in a team of doctors and surgeons and invite them to cut you open, track down that feeling, and remove it and throw it into a bucket. No matter where they would look in your body, whatever that feeling was that was holding you back in some way, no matter where they looked in your body, they would never find anything. They could never track it down. But that feeling is absolutely real. You really felt that thing holding you back. And yet it really wasn't there at all. It's real, but it's not real. It's there, but it's not there. Both of these realities are true at the exact same time. Nod your head as you understand. And for lack of a better term, it just gives us every bit of permission today to play with it. This may seem counterintuitive, but before we go further, think of a dimmer switch, like attached to a light. You can turn it up, and by doing so, turn something up to 100% power. But if you can do that, the opposite is also true. You can also turn it down. So the message here is quite simple. If you can turn something up, you can bring it down as well. So here, today, in this experience where it's safe, become aware of that feeling that was there before that was holding you back. Become aware of that thought, that idea, that sensation in your body that made it seem as if this change you are now going to create was more difficult than it seemed to be. I can see you're connecting with that feeling. Kick it up stronger. Let it bother you a little bit. Let it annoy you. In fact, the more you bring it up in this moment, the more power you're going to have over it from this day forward. So kick it up higher. Turn it up even greater, even stronger. If on a scale of 0 to 10, it's like a 5 or a 6, push it to a 7 or an 8. The more you bring it up, in fact, scan your mind and body. Become aware of where in your mind, where in your body you're feeling whatever that sensation was that was making this goal more difficult than it had to be. Locate where you feel that the strongest. And now, this is fun. Go back to that numbing feeling you left down your big toe. Let that now roll its way up throughout your body. And let that new sensation you have created migrate into those parts of you that used to experience that challenge, that used to create that conflict. Allow yourself to go in on your own and just neutralize that old, unwanted block. Turn it down to 0. Like a bucket of ice being dropped into a pot of boiling hot water, instantaneously achieving room temperature. Turn it down to 0. Make that old block, that old problem state of mind just not work. You got it. And as you've done that for yourself, simply nod your head. And notice this in the privacy of your own mind and body. This is fun. The more you try to bring back that problem state of mind, the more and more confident you feel. The more you try to remember and recall what it used to feel like as a challenge, the more motivated you feel yourself becoming. Because now, simply turn back on that in-the-zone peak performance state of mind. Blend back together those states of success. Project yourself forward. There you are, just as naturally, just as normally, just as easily as you choose and desire. Because at times in life, as I tap on the left hand over here, you can become aware of that part of you that's been motivating you Perhaps thinking, planning, strategizing, all the things you're going to do to create this reality you're here to create now. All those motivating forces there inside of you. Become aware of everything that's in your own best interest. That now you get to enjoy as you create this outcome. You are so ready to enjoy. And perhaps as if for the last time, just to get it out of the system, you'll feel me tap on the right hand over there. Become aware if there's anything left that was holding you back. If there's anything left that was holding back the success. Where often we'd say, on one hand I want this, on one hand I want that, as if you could locate and track down any remaining inner conflict that just, it's time to resolve. On one hand, that motivation. On the other hand, whatever it was that may have been holding you back. Albert Einstein would say that energy is never created nor destroyed. It just becomes something else. The simplest chemistry experiment. You can do this in your own home. Sugar, flour, salt, water, yeast. Mix it together. Put it in a bowl. In the oven. 350 degrees, 45 minutes. Abracadabra. You've got bread. But you can't take the bread and break it back down to the individual ingredients. Once it's bread, it's just bread. Energy is never created nor destroyed. It just becomes something else. Part of you's so ready to embrace these changes, and whatever it was that was holding you back, in the privacy of your own mind and body, become aware of your hands. Feel this. That's right. As a sense of lightness begins to fill within those hands. As with every moment that passes, notice a weightlessness that's occurring in those hands. And I don't know if it's your left hand or your right hand that'll perhaps begin to twitch and adjust first. Though as one hand begins to respond, the other begins to respond as well. And as that one responds, the other responds as well. And I'm not sure if it's your left hand or your right hand which will now begin to float and lift. As if that hand, as if that arm is filling with helium. A weightless, anti-gravity kind of sensation. As very often the fingers begin to twitch first. As one hand responds, the other picks up its momentum. As that hand picks up the momentum, the other picks up the momentum. That's right. As you can become aware now of the fingers twitching, the movements picking up. And whether it's the left hand or the right hand, which now begins to lift and float up off of your leg. An almost kind of weightless sensation, as if the fingers, like you'd imagine those giant Macy's Day Thanksgiving balloons, slowly begin to inflate. There becomes that moment where there's just enough helium inside that it becomes airborne now. And whether it happens quickly, whether it happens slowly, feel that natural momentum now. As one hand begins to lift and move, the other hand begins to lift and move. As if a weightless, almost effortless sensation begins to rise throughout you now. As you can feel those hands responding, as if these two parts now segmenting themselves, getting ready to create resolutions, getting ready to create changes. And as they begin to lift, feel them moving more easily now. Notice a sense of amusement, perhaps. Some people smile at this. It's kind of an odd sensation as they start to get lighter and lighter as they begin to just lift vertically off the legs. And you can help out this next motion, though notice this. In a moment, I'm going to snap my fingers lightly. When I do that, all I ask you to do is rotate the hands at the wrist so they're facing each other. And when you do that, notice the sensation between those hands. 1, 2, 3. Rotate the wrist. And notice that feeling now connecting those hands. Notice that sensation naturally drawing them closer and closer together, because in a few moments they'll very likely meet in the middle. The hands will likely intertwine. The fingers comfortably wrapping around as if some sort of magnetic force field, drawing those hands closer and closer together. As they draw closer, as if you could feel and notice in your own mind and body resolutions, changes, shifts, things that even I don't know to address, now sorting themselves out. As the hands travel together, as they get closer, you can help them out as they reconnect. and allow the fingers to begin to intertwine around each other. Allow the fingertips, the hands to coalesce, the palms to press together as you feel that connection with one hand to the other. Part of you that was motivating you, part of you that was holding you back. And notice now as one, feel those hands squeezing tighter and tighter together. 2, as you can notice, the temperature between the palms is different than it was before, as if some sort of chemical reaction is taking place. The number 3, I don't know if it's the fingertips squeezing so tightly down or the palms pressing together, but the number 4, as if they're becoming glued, stuck, tight, locked, shut. And 5, simply notice now, the more you try to separate those hands, they squeeze even tighter. Try to pull them apart. They squeeze even tighter. Seriously, try to pull them apart. They squeeze even tighter. Energy is never created nor destroyed. It just becomes something else. As you can feel that sensation of those two parts mediating, working together, resolving, creating actions, creating strategies in your own mind now, becoming aware of those things you'll do today, those things you'll do tomorrow, firmly planting one foot in front of the other in this path of success. And only as that is solidified and you are satisfied, notice now just how easily those hands can separate. Notice how easily on your own, whether they fall into your lap or by your sides, whatever is comfortable. And allow yourself to scan in your mind and body. Look to that place as early as today, getting that instant feedback. There you are. Creating this new path of life you are so ready to enjoy now. This is nothing new. This is who you are. Dissolving away the novelty that things are any different, as if this is how you've always done things. Step into that change now. That's right. And as you are ready to step into that reality at your own comfortable pace, gradually, easily, comfortably, bringing your full awareness back to this room. And only as you are ready, letting those eyelids easily reopen, feeling refreshed, feeling alert, feeling good whenever you are ready. You're welcome back. Mm-hmm. And you do feel good, don't you? Oh, man. Now, this is interesting. Just for a quick moment, I want you to try to recreate that blocked feeling, that stuck feeling, and notice as you do that, the more you try to bring back that old sensation, feel that sense of success rise throughout you. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. Even though we don't need it, take that finger and thumb, squeeze them together. Notice what happens. You got this. High five. This round of applause is for you. Before we really jump into the discussion of the techniques, any questions for Rob? I still have no idea what it is that you wanted to address. Was the point of this demo? Did we comfortably address it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do that again because you can imagine if I knew he wanted to exercise more, if I knew he wanted to get his taxes done on time, if I knew he wanted to grow his business, you can see how that demo I had absolutely no content to work off of, but do you see the flexible framework where now it's effortless to add in these details? Maybe some of the points of success that I associated him into could have been a little bit more specific if I had criteria. If I knew he was working on a public speaking thing, and I knew he had spoken in public comfortably before, we just modify the same framework and just customize. But all I had to go on was it was either a habit or a behavior. But again, I still have no idea. It's going to probably stay that way to keep it more fun.
Oh, you don't want to know?
I don't want to know. But again, you can see in a content-free format, relying on the context, we break that cycle of, do you need a script for this? Do you need a script for that? Someone's coming, I don't know what to do. And honestly, even though I got a filter at the beginning of habit or behavior or emotion or both, it really would have been the same demonstration either way. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
We don't need no stinking scripts.
No.
Any questions for Rob?
How much do you remember?
Everything.
Do you remember? So when he said send a cold sensation down your big toe, did you constantly kind of feel your toe being cold?
I felt my entire arm and my leg getting cold. And then when it was down the other side, I thought, why are my hands cold?
Yeah.
Are your hands cold, by the way?
They were, if you saw me before, I was doing the hands in the pockets, so I'm like, I am freezing.
It was funny.
So I was
because
warming myself
when
up
you
for
touched me, it was even colder.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, oh, man.
Although, we'll detail that technique in a few moments, but it's a place where you could just simply say, feel the hand becoming more and more numb, but I'm just also using a little physiological strategy of just lightly grazing the back of the hand, and I get the result even faster.
Yeah.
Details on that coming later, though. What was it like, I want to ask just for my own knowledge, because I get all sorts of answers, the moment where I had you identify the stuck feeling, and then we neutralized it. What was that? Because you made a bit of a physical shift in that.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I recognized I was stuck.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it's no big deal. You've been stuck before. You know,
Nice.
and how do you get over that stuck? Well, I immediately went back to an incident in my head where I was successful at it, so it's no big deal.
And also take note, the whole topic of age regression we're kind of dipping into in some way, but I wasn't looking for cause. I wasn't dragging through the mud of past experience. As you'll come to love the phrase, age regression ain't just about finding the cause. Instead, think about the big motivational event.
Yeah.
Where they would have music pumping and the guy would come out and hype everybody up and everybody leaves and they're excited after this big event, and then everyone leaves and fizzles out. Why? Because that was not their organic state of success. And what did I do here? I drew out from him moments of success, and we'll talk through these strategies in a little bit more detail in a moment, but given the phrasing that I've used, I've not had the person now say, I can't think of one. Because I'm casting such a wide net, and there's something beautiful about the phrase of there's no right, there's no wrong, whatever first pops into your mind is perfectly appropriate. It's when you filter someone to go, this is why in age regression and when we're doing the cause work, we don't say go to the first time, because that's inviting conscious intervention. We're not saying go to the absolute best you've ever felt. Well, there was this moment, no, whatever first pops into your mind is perfectly fine. All I need is the foot in the door, because we're going to hype it up stronger. By the way, the aspect of establishing an anchored response and then discounting the need for the anchor. Remember my character flaw? I fall asleep during science fiction. So I can't stay awake during Star Wars, but the Schwartz was always within you. So establish the anchor, transfer the ability to be more organic, that you can do this on your own anytime, anywhere, and no one knows you're doing something. And whether you use that gesture or not, though, squeeze it down, notice what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So,
Okay, quick question. Like your tonality changed when you are pumping him up, like
Yes.
saying that you're doing this, but his feelings he's pretty same.
no, I was riding him and he was riding me. Doesn't that sound fun? It's where I am calibrating, and you're shaking your head no, because I know why, because you're going, no, you saw a shift, right? Yeah. So it's where I'm watching him and I'm giving him as much energy as I'm seeing, but when he moves forward, I'm pacing and leading each other. When he's rising, I'm rising, and then going a step further. He then rises, then I rise as well, and we're both building it up. So it's where this could have been the smallest of inopportune moments, smallest of insignificant moments, yet we're hyping that sensation even greater, even stronger. And oftentimes I may give that specific process a pre-talk before I work with my client. You ever have that day where just by accident you feel good? Is that a weird statement? But just one day you
Yeah.
have better energy. You're driving, it's like the road is clearer, the sky is brighter. Did I eat the right amount of protein yesterday? Did I sleep better last night? Wouldn't it be great to have that ability just to turn that on because you choose? Squeeze the finger and thumb, check it out. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is a question for Ron.
Yeah, go for
What
it.
did it feel like when you turned your hands towards each other?
I could feel my hands. I could feel them moving. And I thought at first, well, that's not normal. I don't want to do that. And I don't know if you could feel, I could feel the muscles in my arm starting to resist. But at some point, it's like, they belong together. It's not a big deal. So I could feel myself doing it. And I thought immediately, well, I don't want my hands to go together. And that lasted for about 1/10 of a second. And I was like, oh, yeah, why? Okay.
All right.
So how,
Yeah.
you
And
were
getting
talking-
into the individual techniques is what we're about to do, if it's that.
I don't know whether this question pertains to that, but That's an inner conflict, right? You are trying to resolve some block is there. And
That was a parts therapy
Parts
variation.
therapy,
Yeah.
parts therapy variation.
It's funny when you were talking about, think of a time. I immediately went to a point when I was younger. It wasn't like something happened yesterday. This was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Would think about something where you were successful. Oh, yeah, that was 1962. I remember that. Oh, where'd that come from? Yeah.
Nice.
So I went back to an early part of my life.
Which, take note of that, the regression that was inside of that process serves as a hypnotic condenser as well. Because again, hypnotic phenomenon is also a deepening technique. We're about to walk through all those 4 different techniques in a moment. Let me say goodbye to the Facebook audience, though why not give a brief plug? Hypnoticworkers.com, see you on the
Yay.
inside.